This morning, welcome to Buck Don't Know Shit. Today's show, we're going to pull most of that stuff off the firewall. First thing I'm going to start with, which I had worked on a little bit before, but got sidetracked, started doing probably more important things. Got to get this steering shaft out. There's supposed to be a bushing around that bearing, keep it from wobbling. Causes issues, with shifting and whatnot. Also got to get this shifter out. Check that it's not wore out as they do inside here. Thing I made a mistake with, which I'll own up to, I didn't watch Jameson's video on how to take this out. Just figured I could do it myself. I thought this was a set screw that had stripped, and I started to try to get a one of those kits where you back out screws. Try to start doing that, and anyway, somewhere along the line I stuck an Allen wrench in there, and it went all the way through, and I was like, well, that's odd. And then I finally looked up here and realized that it is a roll pin that you're supposed to just knock out. So yeah, that was lots of hours wasted. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad and I can still just knock that roll pin out. But yeah, I'll be working on that today, getting this out. I do think to get the whole thing out, I'm going to try to take the entire steering column out and all this rocking assembly, sliding assembly and everything. Hopefully I can figure out how to get all that back together. But I do think get to all that, I have to, or don't have to, but make it a lot easier. I'll go ahead and take this bracket off. I'm replacing all this anyway. Go ahead and remove my master cylinder, my booster, and probably this hood bracket, just to give me some room to get down to things. Gonna be pulling a lot of stuff off of here anyway. Might as well make some room to work. This is probably where I'll start, removing some of this stuff first. One side project, when I did take the dash out, I had these little defroster vents. Got them out and they were kind of tearing right here. I don't know what kind of material this is, some kind of cardboard type material. But anyway, I cleaned them up best I could. Couldn't get them too wet because they start to fall apart on you. But use some Gorilla Glue, and I should be able to take that zip tie off of them and maybe grind that glue down a little bit. Should work just fine now though. Thought I had a good idea, and I guess it wasn't too bad, but yeah, pumping my brakes, draining this master cylinder out, caught most of it. Of course, I squirted a lot of it all over my engine bay also, but that's all right. We'll clean all that up. Okay, got the hood bracket off, got the master cylinder off. Gonna get the brake booster from inside. You can see there's 4 bolts on the inside and a linkage. I'll have to unhook all that. Probably do that kind of as I can get to it. You go ahead and pull this off because I am going to get a new one and send that one in for the core replacement. There you see my steering wheel linkage right there, or steering shaft linkage. So I'm gonna watch Nick Pepe's video on vintage Thunderbirds. removing this again. I've watched it a couple times, but just to make sure I don't have any more errors and create more problems than I need to, I'll review it one more time and kind of get started on this. Looking down there, I'm finding things mechanics of the past have dropped down into this nether region. There's a bolt there, a nut. I saw there's another nut right there. When I was cutting the fuel line out, I found a actual ratchet head wrench that was froze up, the ratchet end of it. It was stuck way down in there. So somebody said, fuck that, never seeing it again, and left it in the car. So yeah, that's a no man's land right there, but now we got access to it. All right, let's see if we can get this shifter out the correct way. Light. I believe it is this 5/32 one. Might be a job easier for 2 people. Have somebody kind of hold back up on the steering column while you're doing this. Nope. There's moving. And it's out. Now, roll pin out. Save that. Let's see, where does it have to go to? Well, hell. Now I gotta better rewatch the video before I break something else. Yeah, so this should roll pin out. Go to park. Yep, here it comes. All right. Mine. I'll come show you on the camera, but it looks like it's got a little wear, but it's not as bad as some I've seen. But yeah, we'll probably touch it up a little, weld and clean it up, make sure it lasts another 50 years. I don't know, doesn't look too bad though. Little groove. I'll come show you on the camera. And before I turn this off, so next thing we got to do, I'll bring you in here, but got a plastic sheet over a wiring harness here. Got to pull that sheet back, get enough slack to get this blinker and horn piece slid over the end of this shaft so I can pull the entire shaft out. And there's one bolt that I'll have to undo from the steering box, the 7/16 star head, And then this shaft should just slide right out. Then I will be deciding on lots of things. So I guess a common issue with Thunderbird's shifters, you can see right here, they tend to get a groove ore in these. It's supposed to just be flat. Mine has very small, I don't know, maybe it had been repaired before. Kind of seems like I see some weld. I don't know, maybe not. Looks like somebody may have welded it up before. But something while I have it out, I'll go ahead and put a little tack weld on it, grind it down smooth again, and have it ready for assembly. But you can see a little better on that side where it gets worn out, and eventually the groove gets big enough and the car will, like, I think it'll pop into reverse when it's in park, so which is not good at all. So yeah, we'll make sure that's fixed correctly. You know, seen that on vintage Thunderbird, that repair, and Jamerson's repair shop. So you want videos on how to do that, you go there and watch those. They're really good. Probably not going to show you all that. Nobody needs to watch me try to weld because I don't know how. And over here, yeah, so what I'm trying to do, pull this plastic assembly out over the shaft, but it's hooked to all these wires that are here. And you know, this hard plastic sheath, it kind of goes up in there, so I'm going to unbolt it. I think there's probably three clasps holding it on. Pull the sheath back, you know, and then you have enough slack where you can pull this over the end of the steering shaft. All right, nice and easy. Went ahead and unplugged this from where it comes out of the firewall. Pulled the plastic sheath down and back out of the steering column. Then I was able to push the wiring harness, and it kind of pushed all this assembly out enough where I could slide it over the shaft there. Got to undo that wire right there, and then this will all be free and out of the way. And I can go ahead and get this out, and you can see yeah, there's supposed to be a rubber or plastic sleeve around that bearing to keep it from wobbling, and I think that wobble also causes some shifting issues. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that out and order that part, get ready to fix that. And from watching Nick Pepe's videos, I knew I needed a 7/16 12-point socket. So ordered this fine socket set, Pittsburgh Pro. I mean, you can tell the quality of that ratchet right there. Very high dollar, but yeah, anyway, I think that was the cheapest way I could get one. So, and I have you know, every size from 3/8 to 7/8 with 12-point heads now, in case I need them. And there you see my 7/16 12-point bolt right there. I shouldn't have to take it out, it just clamps down on the shaft. So I got me an extension on my socket, and let's see if I can get this broke. One hand, no. Let me put this down, loosen this up, and we'll go take that shaft out. All right, I got it loose. There's also a clamp there. I think that clamp's just holding on a like a dust boot at the end of the shaft. Anyway, I'm gonna go pull on it and see if that stuff just slides off. Not, I may have to come back over here and do it. No, it's never easy. Can't see what's holding. To me, it just looks like that clamp doesn't want to let go of the end. That came like a feather. There we go. All right. So I get a little rough with it. All right. Steering shaft's out. That bearing off eventually and clean it up. It is froze up. A little play, but yeah, definitely not rolling like it should, but there, it's moving a little. Probably just needs to be cleaned up. Get that. No problem. Clean the shaft up, and I could have just left all this alone. The car probably would have been fine to drive for a while, but you go this far on it, might as well take everything out, de-rust it, make sure everything's working while you're in here, replace and fix what you can, and just kind of do a little 50-year maintenance. I think that's what they require. As far as where I'm at on this, I went ahead and removed the booster from the engine compartment side, and the bracket from inside is above the steering column. You can get to it, but taking the steering column out, this was much easier. Pulled the 4 nuts, pull the pin from the linkage right there. Just had a little cotter pin in it, and that pulled right out. Made it easier to get to what I'm working on down here. You can see, turn a light on, not a red light. There we go. You can see these 2 bolts holding the steering column. The bolts held in with these little rectangular, let me move my finger, rectangular keepers that are in the little housing there. Well, this housing is pretty loose, so it's not holding back up very well. And that bolt is pretty dirty, so I'm following the John from Joe or None page, his method of backing them out till they get tight, screwing them back in, spray a little something on them, clean them up, back them out some more, because this one right at the end it starts getting too tight, threads are dirty, and then that square retainer just starts spinning inside that housing. Can get some needle nose pliers on it, but can't quite get enough on it when it gets real tight to hold it. I did manage to get this other one out, come out no problem, and I did undo the transmission linkage, the shifting linkage right here. So then after that, I'll be going in and unscrewing this plate over the boot, and I think there's 2 bolts holding it to the sliding mechanism on the inside, and then the steering column should be ready to come out. So got the steering column out. That's where it attached inside the engine compartment, the transmission linkage right there. So one thing, I didn't unplug anything from this, and when I pulled it out, saw it is some kind of sensor, probably dealing with when it goes into reverse. I'm assuming maybe these are some reverse lights that maybe this car didn't have. If anybody knows, I guess hit me up, because I don't see a wiring harness from that, unless this was it. I bet that's what that is. Yeah, it looks like it might have got messed up at some point. So, yay. I can fix that at some point, I guess. Yeah, that'll be fun. I did find another little frayed wire right here, you know, but this is why we're taking this stuff apart, to find these kinds of things while it's easy to work on. So anyway, I'm gonna keep pulling crap out and see what else we need to fix. All right, so trying to get this bracket out. Of course, there was just two little 5/16 nuts for this wiring harness. There's 3 1/2-inch head bolts right here, and then I think the only other 4 are the 4 nuts that were holding on the brake booster bracket, which can't really see any of them here, but there's 4. I got them loose. Used a long extension, and it was actually a 9/16 socket. Was able to get to them all easily with the extension, and it's just a straight extension, no swivel or anything. Didn't have any issue getting to them. Now that the steering column's out, all that broke free, and it looks like the whole brake assembly and steering wheel sliding mechanism is ready to come out all in one piece with the brake pedal. So anyway, I'll get it out, look at it, and we'll be cleaning that up down the road. Well, there's the brake housing out, nice and rusty. Just surface rust though, no, not damaged. Probably would have been fine the way it was. This is just for the sliding mechanism, little retention deal. You know, I think the shifter pushes that up, whatever. Figure all that out down the road, but I think I'll take this relay switch off, maybe remove that little stopper there, throw it in the bag. Maybe that spring, I don't know, might leave that on there. I don't think the probably I will remove this pedal just to make room, but we'll put it in the acid bath in a few days, see if it'll clean itself up without doing a bunch of grinding. Just see what happens. If I need to grind on it, clean it up, I will. All right, got my air conditioning little accordion vent out, and man, there's no holes in it. It's very pliable material, not dry rotted or anything. Feels really good. So I'll just like clean the inside out best I can, and I put some spray paint on it, get it black. All right, I got the main wiring harness pulled back. I didn't detach it. It kind of ties in right there at the fuse box. I got it draped over the door. For now, get the heater coil out, and then I'll look at that and see how big of a project that's going to be to pull out. Probably not much, honestly. Probably just pull the whole fuse box, and probably all comes out, and I will look at prices and kind of decide how I want to go about redoing this main wiring harness here. Next thing, I guess, is going to be to get this air conditioning plenum, condenser, coil, whatever this is right here. Not a condenser, but evaporator coil, I guess, inside there. Pull this unit. I do believe I got to unattach some hoses from the compressor and the engine bay. and pull those out with it. But we will see how this project goes, but pretty much going to work from driver's side to passenger side, pulling stuff out. That's my plan, and see where we get today. So bought this car, had this toggle switch wired in, went to the firewall, it's wired by itself. The other end of it has a little fuse, actual 20 amp fuse, and then it was cut here, so I don't know what this end was supposed to go to, but if you follow it the other way, it comes out the firewall right here, there, and follow it up here. Let's see, yep, same wire, and it goes back to the air conditioner compressor. So apparently that's how they were running the air conditioner at one point. So yeah, that's something else I'll have to troubleshoot and figure out why they had it run that way. This wire, wherever it was supposed to run inside, must have got disconnected at some point. Several ground wires, things broken inside under the dash, so could have been as simple as that, and they never found it, but we'll see when I start digging into all that. For now though, I am gonna close these off. I gotta break, I believe it's this line and this line, because they run back to the firewall, and I think there's 3 or 4 bolts from the inside, and then it should just pull on through. Should. We'll see how it goes. All right, a few things. Still working on getting my air conditioning plenum, I guess, evaporator coil pulled out off the firewall along with the heater box, which, looking here, and I know I got to get these 2 hoses off, that is going to my heater coil, and I know I got to get these 2 bolts out, I think, to actually get the air conditioning plenum and get this plate off the motor, because that's probably all retaining it in there also. So I got to remove those screws, but just while I was looking at it, I noticed, of course, the hoses are cut going to here. When I bought the car, I noticed this contraption, 2 hoses coming to this, like I guess it's a Y-shaped piece, and then capped off at the end. So I'm assuming these hoses at one point went to the evaporator coil, so I'm assuming, pretty good assumption probably, that it is shot, and that's why they blocked this off, because probably it was leaking, and they just never pulled it out and fixed it. Another thing, which maybe somebody can help me with this, I'm not real familiar with vacuum systems, but there is this, which I was looking at another video of somebody else's, and it may have been a 66, but I didn't see this in their car, but it looks like just a air tank compressor, just, I guess, just excess tank. Of course, it looks like one of the valve, or not valves, but I guess tubes coming out of it is broke off. It's like they tried to repair it at one point, but anyway, it's broke. That one is loose, but it looks like, I'm wondering if this is what they tried to replace it with, and just trying to figure out what exactly all this is and why, you know, do you need it? Of course, this one is collapsed, so I'm pretty sure it's no good. But anyway, if anybody's got any ideas on what I need to do to replace this, or should I just try to find a new one of these, probably what I'm gonna do, I'll look in my manual, the old Thunderbird shop manual is probably in there, but you know, if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. Of course, my daughter's always reminding me to open that book up and look in it before I do shit. But yeah, 15. Got a couple more turns. Let me see. Basically, this bolt is really tight as I take it out. Loosens up. The more I work it, I can't see it from inside the wheel well, so I'm gonna screw it back in, spray it with some deep creep from this side, the inside, and hit it with a wire brush, try to clean it up before I break this thing off. But easier in the long run. So yeah, so I hit it from this side, screwed it all the way back in, hit it with the deep creep and a little WD-40 and wire brushed the end of it, and immediately got a good another 10, almost 15 extra cranks backing it out. Much easier to turn. Came to a stopping point again, so I screwed it back in. Hopefully, didn't count this time, but hopefully we'll get it out this time. I mean, even right here where it's getting real hard, it's nowhere near as tight as it was before. Yeah, it's coming now. That's the way it's supposed to be. And it's just about free. And loose. There we go. So there you go. Yeah, it's a fine thread. Threads don't look bad, but they were dirty. Of course, being underneath the wheel well, you know, you can expect that. So just quick note, don't muscle these out if you can get to them. Even if you can't get to them, work them back and forth. Working in the dark. Just need some cleaning. And a little cleaning, a little paint, make them look brand new. I'm just pulling the shit out of here. Got me one of these super long, Nick finished Thunderbird. Likes his long screwdrivers, according to his videos. Recap what I've done here. Removed this I guess stiffening joint here, make some room. Remove the hood bracket. Cut off the remainder of the hoses going to the heater coil. 2 bolts right there, 2 studs coming out from inside the firewall. Took the nuts off them. Removed the cover plates from around the fan motor right here. And then there's 3 more studs coming out of the firewall, I think that holds the air conditioning plenum. Took the nuts off those. And then yesterday there were 2 nuts over here on this side of the firewall, on 2 studs coming out of the firewall also. And I think that will get me everything I need to get the heater box and the air conditioning pulled out of the car. All right, let's see if we made any success. Nothing feels very loose. I will say that. Need a little more visual space anyway. I know this comes out I think it's oh wow. I think actually the way I'm pulling it out is the heater box will come out with it as well. Okay, I can handle that. Let's see. Got all my vacuum lines. I'm gonna have to go back and forth, pull those AC lines through. Yeah. Oh. All right. That one AC line's got a hard metal hook on the end of it, so of course it is going to grab every little thing on its way to the firewall. Let's hold it up here. It's like one huge monstrosity. It all comes out together. Who would have known? Trying not to cut myself here. And yeah. Air conditioning hoses have us hung up out there. But basically that's it. All I gotta do is finish pulling these hoses out of here, and man, wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Now all I gotta do is put it all back together. No problem. Yeah, so there it is. This from the firewall side. Just to kind of review where I took out. This is a passenger side. Had two studs here below the heater coil hoses, I guess in and out. Had around the fan motor, you had a guard. Took that off, just some like sheet metal screws, I think 3 or 4, I don't know. Comes off in 2 pieces, top and bottom. Then you had 3 studs around it, 1, 2, 3. All these were 7/16 nuts. And then on the driver's side, you had two bolts right there. And this let me pull out the entire AC and heater together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts and a few little sheet metal screws. Of course, you had to get the 2 AC hoses disconnected, and yeah, then it just pulled right out. That was pretty much it. Yeah, nothing to it.